Hello everyone, I hope this is recording and I hope I am in frame. I did a couple pre-tests like I try to do to make sure I'm in frame. So I should be relatively in frame. I don't care if my head might be cut off a little bit. Most important that you can actually see me is what I want. But I hope you guys had a great weekend. Today is Sunday. As you could tell, I am back in my dorm. I got back late last night and unpacked immediately because when I return from like trips, I don't like to leave my stuff in my suitcases. I have to like unpack immediately. It's just a weird thing that I do. And then I moved around some furniture in my room, so I moved my bed to the opposite wall of where it was, so now the window is in front of me instead of the window being behind me. And I moved over one of my desks, and I think I'm gonna leave the other desk where it was. So I think I'm gonna leave my work desk where it is actually, present tense where it is. So, but I moved around my other desk to where my bed was. So, I just, I wanted to change around the layout of my room a little bit. So, that's what I did last night. After I got back, I unpacked and moved stuff around. And today, even though it's a little later, I've been sleeping on and off because I've been exhausted, trying to catch up with some sleep. I wasn't sleeping really well these past couple of days, so I'm trying to catch up on some sleep. So I've been falling asleep on and off all day. And yes, but I do need to go through some of my clothes and some of the stuff that I have in my dorm and get rid of some stuff just because, it's a new semester. There's some things that I have, like some leftover notes and some clothes that I probably won't wear again that I need to get rid of and donate. So that's also what I need to do eventually at some point today. It'll probably be later today. Um, and then tomorrow is my first day of classes for this new semester. So I'm trying to prepare myself for that. I only have two classes tomorrow. So I think my last class ends at 11:50. So it's pretty good. But so Monday and Friday I only have two classes. Wednesdays I have three, I think. Yeah, because I have a lab on Wednesdays. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be incredibly busy for me. I have four classes on those days. I will have four classes in those days when my PE class starts. So more than likely, I won't be working or making videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll more likely be working on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, which is this is the same thing I was doing last semester, so not much change. Anyway, so I thought I would update you guys on my schedule and when I would probably make videos. Also today at some point, I would like to start working on my alternative doll that will be available for sale. So I have to go check the video where I said where you can get some extra entries for my giveaway, which will be starting actually on the 14th of January. I will make that video soon, very very soon, explaining what that is. But I need to go back and make sure I realize who answered who gave the correct answer. So my first alternative baby will be a Cupid baby because I'm hoping to have her done around February. So, like I said, she will be for sale. I'm not quite sure how I want her to look yet. I have some ideas of how I'm going to paint her, but I do want to go ahead and start on the first steps of painting her today as well. I'm running out of time in the day, I know. But yeah, I'm just so happy to be back in my dorm because it's so nice being back in your own space. It's just really nice. And plus, I missed this big guy right here, Mr. Leo. I hope he's in frame too. I think he is. He should be. So I hope it's also focused. I didn't even think about that. I hope I'm not saying all this for no reason and I'm out of focus this whole time. Yeah. Let me check and then I'm going to continue with the rest of this video. Okay, so it looks like it was mostly in focus. I'm gonna keep making sure it's in focus, but so this is a very important topic. I've definitely have said some things about this topic before or touched on it before, but I don't think I've made a separate video about this. And this is something that's very important to me because I get this a lot, and it's just so common that I hear this from whether it be people in my family or just like people on the street or people who see one of my dolls and see me interacting with one of my dolls, is the idea that men should not interact with dolls or things that are stereotypically feminine items. Like, I cannot tell you how many comments I see and delete where people are like, well, you're less of a man because you play with dolls or you paint dolls, or even if I'm just an artist who enjoys making the dolls, I see people comment on that and I automatically delete those comments because they're unnecessary and they're wrong. And it's 2020 now and people are still making these comments assuming that because of someone's hobbies they are less of the gender that they identify as. So that to me is absolutely just wrong. So people often assume that one, I'm gay, which is actually not true. I'm not gay. Or they just assume that I'm like a really soft, feminine guy, which is also not true. I'm pretty masculine. The only really feminine thing about me is that I deal with these dolls, and I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know really any other like super feminine things that I do. I guess maybe that I talk about my feelings, but I feel like that's another thing that should be, you shouldn't be ashamed of doing that as a man. Uh, Men have these expectations that society put on us, that we have to be rough and tough, and if you aren't meeting those expectations that you're somehow less of a person or individual. And I just keep hoping that those assumptions and like those things will change in our society, but I'm starting to get to the point where I don't think it'll be even for a while. Things have definitely gotten better as far as how our society views men who don't fit all the stereotypes of being men. And that's great. I'm happy about that, but I think there's so much more work that can be done. And I hope that by having my channel and being open about what I like and I enjoy and talking about my feelings, that helps even just a little bit. I hope to see more men be comfortable into enjoying these dolls because they are pretty cool to make and collect, and I think it shouldn't be something that people are ashamed of if they're men and want to maybe enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect. Like, sometimes I wonder that if I had a bigger beard or I was even more stereotypically masculine, or if I looked older or more like an actual man of my age. I'm 20. I don't look my age. I never have, and I probably won't look my age for a while because of how it runs in my family. All of us look a lot younger than we actually are. So part of me wonders if I actually did look my age, if I had more facial hair, if I was a larger, more stereotypically masculine appearing guy, if I would have as many subscribers, or if I would have even more people saying it's creepy that I enjoy these dolls. Because it's so normal for women to enjoy these dolls, but as soon as a man enjoys a doll, he's like creepy and people are like calling people pedophiles. I've seen other guys post their dolls and get horrible comments, and that's also why there's not many men in this community, because people within the community, a lot of the ladies within the community still think of the stereotypical gender roles and enforce them in men who want to join in the community. I've seen a lot of them shunned out of the community over the years, and it's sad. It's heartbreaking. But I'm too strong to let that happen to me on my channel, because if you're coming to my channel, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that I'm a man who makes and enjoys these dolls. It's just, you're gonna have to deal with it because that's who I am, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But yeah, I've been seeing it, and it's always bothered me that people are, the same thing with the video that I made where people exclude men in the community in general. Like, and almost all of the groups I am in, most of the posts are only directed to reborn moms or reborn mommies. The groups are all like reborn mommies, reborn moms, mothers, blah 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 blah. Like, men don't exist at all. And I try to correct people, and then they get offended. They're like, "Well, can't women just have this one thing?" And I'm like, "It's not like that. It's just I want people to be more understanding and more open to the fact that men are probably in these groups and feel the same way that I do." And I don't want to seem like I'm whining about it. Like I said in the other video when I was talking about this exclusion, I don't want to seem like I'm whining about it. I just want things to be more open and change towards accepting everyone into the community, because the community itself is already kind of like outside of society. Our community is often looked at by the greater society as being kind of weird in general, because we are adults collecting dolls. So that's a whole nother layer that people already look down or are weirded out by our community, because a lot of people don't realize that everyone in the community, well, I say everyone, but I would say like 90% of people know that these dolls aren't real. But the greater outside society thinks that we really think these dolls are real. So we already have pressure from coming outside of the community. So basically what I just want is the community as itself to stick together and be accepting of each other. Because while we're not all the same, we all come from different backgrounds, we have this weird thing in common that I think that should bond us together. So that's my purpose of really making this video and talking about it, because honestly I'm sick of the stereotypes that I'm like expected to fit because of my gender. It's just it's really annoying, and it's tiring to try to keep fitting in to the stereotypes of being a man, especially in 2020. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I know I'm rambling a bit, but I think my point was made that we just need to open our minds a little bit about what it means to be a man. And if you know anyone else who is a reborn dad, send them my way. I always love to encourage the other men that I know that are in the community to stay in the community and not back down from all the pressure within and outside of the community. Like I said, it's been really hard to date for two reasons for me, because of my size and because I'm a little not confident always about having this as my hobby, because it's hard to explain to someone who's never heard of them, especially a girl who's in college. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I think I'm ending my thoughts there. I can't really think of anything else without rambling too much. And yeah, I'm just happy to be back in my dorm, in my space, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.